on this sort of purpose stuff and trying to get to work on your goals, like I love this big thinking, big picture, like I've got to find my why, etc. But this is a very big question to answer for any human being on the planet, to a point that even when most people think they've got it figured out, they're lying. Yeah. They're just saying something that is attention seeking, or they're sharing something that's going to allow you to judge them in a certain way. They're projecting what they would like to be or what they would like you to think of them. That's how most people would tend to answer a purpose or a why-based question. And it's because it's hard to answer a why-based question because the frame is too big. What you're often better to answer is a because-based question. You know what you're doing because. Like, and we're going to take this very, very practical, and I hope you can follow this. And Chris, I might even ask you to draw it because you're better than me.
I'm happy to do it.
And you're going to see that I like to work in 3s and I like to work in 9s. So Chris, can you just draw me like 9 boxes? You've done this before, I think you can do it again. Is when it comes to goal setting, most people view goal setting like it's a list of things that I need to do in a sequential way. When we're working with people on goals, we create what's called a 9-box goal setting report. So it's 9 boxes, 9 physical boxes on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So all we got is 9 boxes. Then we're creating a matrix. The matrix starts with 3 different areas. So say, for example, that you're a real estate agent. Area 1 might be my core business as a real estate agent. Area 2 might be my personal brand that I'm working on for growth. And area 3 might be personal. Right? These could be the 3 top headers. So you've got real estate, personal brand, and personal. So as in what you want to do just for fun. What I'm then going to do down the left-hand matrix is I'm going to say, well, this month, this year, and this lifetime. And then I'm going to say, I got to pick 3 things that I'm working on in each of these boxes. And then I can say, well, what 3 things am I working on in my real estate business this month? What 3 things am I prioritizing this year? What 3 things am I prioritizing this lifetime? In my personal brand, what 3 things am I prioritizing this month? What 3 things am I prioritizing this year? What 3 things am I prioritizing this lifetime? And in my personal life, I can do the exact same thing. I quickly realized I've got 27 giant projects that I'm working on. You can't do more than 3 in a box. And the parameters, the constraints force creativity and they force you to decide. You can't say, I want to do 19 things this month. There's just 27 things that you're working on at any one period of time. I've used this in my personal life a ton, and in my personal life, I wrote this year in a 9-box goal setting report over 30 times I'd like to learn how to play piano. And this is not a very difficult thing to start making progress on if it's something you want to do, right? I can go to YouTube, I could hire a coach, I could hire a trainer. I even bought a piano. But I wrote this down as a goal that I wanted to work on this year, 30 plus times. I made 0 progress. And then finally I realized I don't want to learn to play piano, do I? It's pretty clear. My behavior is telling me this is not a thing that I'm keen to be able to work on. So you can give up on it and scrap it and swap it in with something else. I learned that I like to listen to other people playing piano. That was the outcome that came from that. But once you've got this matrix, you can then look at it and say, well, what is my plan for achieving those things? You can start to document a plan. Once you've got a plan, you can then say, well, that's the thing I want to do. That's my plan to be able to get there. You can then ask yourself why 5 times and then document the answer. So this is my plan to be able to achieve that thing. Why do I want to do that? I'm going to answer that 5 times. So why do you want to do it? Yeah, but why do you want to do that? Yeah, but why do you want to do that? Yeah, but why do you want to do that? Yeah, but why do you want to do that? Answer it 5 times. You can then ask yourself one more powerful question. What are the consequences of me not achieving that? And having run that whole exercise, when you've asked yourself the what are the consequences of me not achieving that question, you're going to find a recurring theme. Because you might find that what are the consequences of me not achieving that linked to most of the 27 things that you want to work to at the same time are about the same thing. And it could be some version of, well, the consequences of me not achieving that is I'd let my family down. Or the consequence of me not achieving that is I'd let myself down. The consequence of me not achieving that is I wouldn't live a buoyant or fulfilled life that is in line with my own expectation of self. What are you starting to do? You're starting to define your purpose. You're just giving yourself a structure to get there in a long way. You're saying these 27 things matter to me in a frame of time that I've permitted to it. Now that I've got those, you can also story tell around it. Because you could say, well, what are you working on this month? Well, like in my real estate business, I'm working on boom, boom, boom. In my personal brand business, I'm working on boom, boom, boom. And just for fun, I'm working on boom, boom, boom. How much more of an interesting person are you? If somebody says, well, what are you working on in your real estate business? You say, well, this month I'm working on this. This year I'm going to have achieved this. And before I die, I'll have this done. No one's going to say, well, what's your purpose? Because you've just said, I'm on purpose. You with me? Yeah. And when you can talk on purpose, nobody says, what's your purpose? Because you're acting on purpose. So there's a lot, but I don't know if that structure can give you some exercises to go play with that you might be able to ask yourself better questions and find better answers, as opposed to like, what's your purpose? Like, I know we've just met, but can you tell me your purpose? And yeah, but what's your big why? It just, I mean, Simon did some great work with the Start With Why book, etc. There's a big idea there, etc. But I think that big idea is a big idea. It isn't something you find simply and easily. And give yourself permission to struggle with it. Yeah. All the time you've got air in your lungs. Forever.
Yeah. Do you ask those, I missed the 5 whys, is it per like 27 things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you can't answer that, you're probably working with the wrong thing. You might have to swap it out.
Got it.
But when we do this with our certified guides community, I make them stand in front of a room and deliver a presentation on this. So they deliver a presentation, they can do it in either direction. They can either say, here's what I'm working on this month, and tell the story, boom, 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 boom. Or it's in this pillar, this pillar, this pillar. And sometimes we might change the frame to this week, this month, this year. Sometimes we might say, well, it's core business, it's growing business, and it's just for fun. We can change the headers on this. But if you can define 27 things that you on purpose want to be able to work on, and then ask yourself why, and then build a plan, and then ask yourself what are the consequences of not, chances are you're going to find some stuff you don't know about yourself.